Some guns are nearly perfect. But sometimes, perfect for one job means not great for others. Let's talk honestly. As someone who loves firearms, I totally get the thrill of trying new platforms, owning something unique, or chasing that next-level performance. But let me tell you, some guns, no matter how cool they look or how well they shoot, might not live up to your expectations, depending on what you're looking for. So let's break down 7 guns that could leave you with mixed feelings, not because they're bad, but because they're specialized, misunderstood, or just too good at being what they are. Now, let's dive right in. Ruger 1022, the rimfire king that might spoil you for life. If there's one gun I recommend to new shooters, it's the Ruger 1022. It's affordable, accurate, and built to last. Whether you're target shooting, teaching someone new, or chasing squirrels, this gun just works. And the aftermarket options? Practically limitless. Magpul stocks, carbon fiber barrels, suppressor-ready models, optics. There's a version for everyone. But here's where the regret sneaks in. Once you own and shoot a good 10-22, every other .22 rifle will start to feel kind of unnecessary. It sets the bar so high in terms of reliability, accuracy, and mod potential that you might stop exploring other options. And that's fine, unless you enjoy variety in your collection. The second issue is this. The Ruger 1022 is so customizable that you'll likely spend twice the price of the base gun on upgrades. Extended mag releases, match triggers, fancy barrels, you name it. The gun invites you to tinker. Before you know it, your cheap rimfire has become a full-blown project gun. It's not a bad thing, unless you weren't ready for it. Bottom line? You'll love your October 22nd, but it might kill your curiosity about other rimfires. And it may quietly pull you into a world of mods, upgrades, and accessories you never budgeted for. Honey Badger, the cool kid of CQB, but not your everyday rifle. When you first lay eyes on the Honey Badger by Q, it's hard not to fall for it. That gray and gold finish, compact frame, and signature suppressor-friendly 300 blackout setup. It looks like it dropped straight out of a video game. This rifle screams modern cool, and honestly, it lives up to a lot of the hype. Where it shines is in short-range work. Running subsonic rounds through a suppressor, it's whisper quiet. At 50 yards, it's devastatingly effective and fun to shoot. For home defense, truck guns, or indoor use, it really is a strong option. But here's the reality check. This is not a multi-role rifle. That 7-inch barrel and subsonic ammo make it nearly useless beyond 100 to 150 yards. Even with supersonic 300 BLK, your ballistics drop off fast. And if you came into this thinking it could replace your AR-15 or serve double duty for mid-range shooting, you'll likely be disappointed. Also, for the price, there are better performers in terms of versatility. You're paying a premium for style, niche performance, and silence, not for long-range capability or modularity. So unless you truly know what you're getting, the Honey Badger might feel like a cool toy with limited purpose. Verdict? It's a fantastic gun in its lane. Just don't expect it to be a do-it-all solution. Think of it like a Porsche 911 GT3. It's amazing, but not built for grocery runs. 3. Smith Wesson M&P, the underdog that might change your brand loyalty. When you think about modern polymer pistols, Glock almost instantly comes to mind. But here's where the Smith & Wesson M&P series comes in as a pleasant surprise. In recent years, especially with the rollout of the M&P 2.0 models, S&W has really stepped up their game. Many shooters find that the ergonomics of these guns fit a wide range of hand sizes, and the flat-faced trigger provides an impressively crisp break that's hard to ignore at the range. Whether you're a seasoned competitor or a weekend target shooter, the M&P feels solid, reliable, and surprisingly refined. So where's the regret in this gem? It doesn't have the flashy reputation that Glocks do, and for some, that's a slight downside. If you're on the hunt for that cutting-edge cool factor with edgy design lines, the M&P might seem a bit too understated. Its design is straightforward and utilitarian, favoring function over style. For many gun enthusiasts, the allure of a Glock is partly the branding and widespread recognition, and switching to an M&P might feel like going against the grain. Additionally, while the M&P 2.0 offers excellent performance, some might feel that its evolution was long overdue. Early models had their quirks, a trigger that wasn't quite as refined, or ergonomics that didn't quite suit every hand. The improvements have been significant, but for buyers still on the fence about making the jump, there's that lingering question: is it really better than what I've always used? In reality, the M&P series offers a blend of reliability, customization options like the various barrel lengths, calibers, and optics-ready models, and value that's hard to beat. It might not shout for attention, but it quietly works great in your hand, making you rethink your loyalty to the status quo. For anyone ready to explore a dependable, underrated platform, the M&P is well worth the investment, even if you end up waffling between style and substance. Awesome. Let's dive into the fourth section now. This is where things get really interesting, especially for fans of military-style rifles. Fourth, FN SCAR 17, the Dream .308, but at what cost? The FN SCAR 17 is everything a .308 rifle should be in a semi-auto platform: smooth, precise, and incredibly reliable. The modular design, adjustable stock, and slick recoil system make it a favorite among tactical enthusiasts and military buffs. Plus, it's a rifle that's known for tack-driving accuracy and smooth handling, even with heavy-hitting .308 rounds. When you shoot the SCAR 17, you can't help but feel like you're in a league of your own. The trigger, the ergonomics, everything about it feels designed to make you feel like a pro. But, and this is a big but, here's where you might start to regret it. The SCAR 17 comes at a staggering price tag, often hovering around $3,000 or more. And for that kind of money, you need to ask yourself, is it really worth the investment? Sure, you're paying for a top-tier rifle, but many people might find that other .308s can offer similar or even better performance at a fraction of the cost. The AR-10 platform, for example, can get you a highly capable .308 with great modularity for significantly less money. Also, while the SCAR is smooth and reliable, its recoil is notably different from other rifles in its class. It's soft, but it's not magic. And when compared to other .308s, some shooters argue that it doesn't feel as natural or as manageable as, say, a more traditional AR platform rifle. Not to mention, SCAR mags can be pricey, and the gun can feel heavy after long days at the range. Finally, there's the cool factor. No doubt about it, the SCAR 17 is visually striking. But is it just a cool gun that looks great on Instagram? Or does it truly fit your needs? If you're in a situation where every dollar counts and you're after versatility over bragging rights, the SCAR 17 might just be too flashy for its own good. Bottom line, it's one heck of a rifle, but unless you've got the budget and the need for top-tier performance, you might end up questioning if you should have gone with something more practical. The SCAR 17 is a want, not necessarily a need. 5. CZ Shadow 2, precision royalty that might spoil you forever. The CZ Shadow 2 is a gun that immediately commands respect. Designed for competitive shooting, especially in disciplines like IPSC or USPSA, this steel-framed, hammer-fired beauty is precision incarnate. From the first trigger pull, you can tell this isn't just another range gun. It's got weight, balance, and a DAXA trigger that feels like it came from a custom shop. For anyone who values tight groups and smooth recoil control, the Shadow 2 feels like it was tailor-made to dominate the leaderboard. The all-metal frame helps you shoot faster and flatter. The slide rides low inside the frame, which reduces muzzle flip and makes follow-up shots lightning fast. Pair that with aggressive checkering, fiber optic front sights, and a generous beaver tail, and you've got a competition machine that's built to run hard. So what's the downside? Well, There's a reason many shooters say, once you go CZ, it's hard to go back. And that's kind of the issue. After experiencing the buttery trigger and solid feel of the Shadow 2, your striker-fired pistols might start collecting dust. It can skew your expectations in a way that makes simpler, lighter carry guns feel toy-like or unsatisfying. And don't even try to make this a carry gun. It's just too heavy and large to realistically conceal for most people. There's also the matter of cost, with a price tag creeping near or over the $1,000 mark, depending on the model, plus the cost of extra mags, holsters, competition gear, and maybe a few trigger tweaks. You're making a serious investment. And because CZs are a bit less common in the US market, aftermarket parts and support aren't quite as abundant as with Glock or SIG platforms. Final thought? The CZ Shadow 2 is an incredible pistol, but it's like drinking top-shelf whiskey. It might ruin your taste for everything else. If you're a competitor or just want a range gun that makes you feel like a marksman every time you pull the trigger, it's worth every penny. Just know that it might change how you look at the rest of your collection. 6. Military surplus rifles, romantic, rugged, and a little rough. There's something magical about owning a military surplus rifle. Whether it's a Mosin Nagant from World War II, a Yugoslavian SKS, a Mauser, or even a vintage Enfield, these rifles feel like you're holding a piece of history in your hands. The worn stocks, the stamped steel, the Cosmoline-stained bolts, all of it gives off a vibe that's hard to match with modern firearms. For gun collectors and history buffs, surplus rifles offer a deep connection to the past, and let's be honest, they just look awesome in a gun safe. The appeal is clear: battle-tested reliability, beefy bolt-action designs, and rifles that were built to survive war zones. They're rugged and often chambered in potent calibers like 7.62 by 51 mmR or 8mm Mauser. And of course, they used to be cheap. You could pick up a Mosin Nagant for under $100 not that long ago. Those days, sadly, are long gone. Now, here's where the regret might come in. For one, they're not exactly range-friendly. Most of these rifles have terrible triggers, brutal recoil, heavy wooden stocks, and iron sights that were designed for battle, not bench rest shooting. They also tend to have rough finishes and don't expect modern ergonomics. Slap a steel butt plate into your shoulder with 40 rounds of 7.62 by 51R, and you'll know pain in a way no AR can teach you. Ammunition can also be tricky. Some calibers are hard to find or expensive, and surplus ammo is often corrosive, requiring immediate and thorough cleaning. Parts? Forget about it. If your extractor or firing pin breaks, you're likely scouring forums or eBay for help. And let's not even talk about mounting optics. Most require clunky side rails or drill and tap modifications that ruin collector value. The real trap? Addiction. You buy one because, hey, it's cool and historic. So, is it worth it? Absolutely, if you know what you're getting into. Surplus rifles are awesome, but they're not practical range blasters or modern battle rifles. If you're looking for a nostalgic shooting experience or just want to own a piece of military history, go for it. Just understand that they're more about the story than the performance. 7. Sig Sauer P365 Series, micro powerhouse with macro expectations. If there's one pistol that shook up the concealed carry world, it's the SIG P365. When it hit the market, it redefined what a micro-compact could be. 10+1 rounds of 9mm in a pistol smaller than most single stacks? Game changer. And with variants like the P365XL, P365X, and the P365 Macro, SIG has built an entire ecosystem around this concept. For the modern concealed carrier, this gun checks a lot of boxes. Let's start with what it gets right: capacity, size, and performance. You're getting double stack capacity in a slim, easily concealable package. It's lightweight and sits comfortably in an IWB holster all day. The standard night sights are a huge bonus, and the flat trigger on newer models is surprisingly crisp for a striker-fired gun. Accuracy is very respectable for its size, and recoil is extremely manageable, especially with the macro variant, which adds a compensator and more real estate on the grip. For EDC, it's hard to beat. It disappears under a t-shirt, draws fast, and hits where you aim. It's no surprise that it's become one of the top-selling concealed carry guns in America, and rightly so. But there's the other side of the coin. Early P365 models had some reliability hiccups, mostly related to striker drag and primer swipe. SIG has addressed many of these issues in later revisions, but it left a mark in the minds of cautious buyers. Some users also report occasional light primer strikes or failures to go into battery with certain ammo, especially in the newer macro models with tighter tolerances. And while the size is great for carry, it's not ideal for everyone's hands. The grip can feel a bit snappy or cramped for larger shooters, even with the XL and macro. Also, the trigger, while improved, is still a striker-fired trigger, and might not win over fans of hammer guns or tuned Glocks. And because SIG offers so many versions now, it's easy to get overwhelmed choosing the right P365 for your needs. Lastly, price. With base models already above the $500 mark and the macro approaching $800 with optics-ready configurations, it's not the cheapest micro-compact. Add an optic, upgraded mags, and holsters, and you're well into the cost of a full-size duty pistol. Bottom line, the SIG P365 series is absolutely worth the hype, as long as you understand what it is and isn't. It's an EDC marvel, a benchmark in modern carry pistols, and a great shooter in its class. But like any tool, it's not perfect. Try before you buy, and make sure it fits your hand, your routine, and your expectations. So there you have it, 8 guns that shooters fall in love with, only to discover the little imperfections that come with that affection. From ARs to CZs to rimfires and surplus beasts, these firearms represent the passion and complexity that come with being a gun owner. They're not bad guns, far from it. In fact, they're some of the best in their class. But every rose has its thorn, and knowing the quirks can save you from buyer's remorse or, at the very least, help you enjoy the journey more realistically. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more gun content, and drop a comment below. What's a gun you loved at first, but had second thoughts about? We've got more reviews, range tests, and brutally honest gun talk coming your way. Stay safe, shoot straight, and we'll see you in the next one.